Okay.
Yeah.
Next one's from Bill. So we're picking the mail. We did two days of mail that we recorded here. We usually record the mail one day, but this is day two. From Bill Tugamala. Subject is hanging out with Yokozuna. Good morning, fellas. Fan of the show and like the content you guys put on different topics. Conan, was it the city of Carson where Yoko took you to? I seen a clip of Rikishi quoting that Yoko is gangsta. Conan, you are definitely someone who seems to understand that you can still learn something in life as each day presents itself, which is probably why you have a strong fan base of Polynesian people. Keep up the great work, Joe Disco. Lake Show in 6. The
Uh,
thing with the story about you and Yokozuna.
I think we were in South Central, but boy, did he have love, and he loved gangster rap. So and he was a real G, and that's where Hall and Nash got all that for life. That was from listening to Yokozuna, who was listening to Mac 10,
Mac 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then he put me on to Master P, and he would see me and he'd give me CDs and he'd go, "Listen to this, man," you know. And I remember they tried to get at one time Hall and Nash tried to get Yoko and I believe Rakishi into WCW,
Hmm.
you know. And we always used to hang out in Mexico when he was there because there were hardly any Americans, and he was in a different promotion, so he's kind of alone. And bro, I remember one time we went to this arena and it was super jam packed, and I don't know if he did it because I was over or he did it because he liked me. But in the middle of the match, and this is crazy, he goes, leapfrog me, turn around, and slam me. And I
Mm.
didn't have any chance to go what or whatever. He was already throwing me to the ropes. He was he bent down like that. I leapfrogged him. He turned around. He just jumped into my arms and I slammed him.
That's
Bro,
great.
that place erupted. But nothing but love and great memories with Yoko.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember right, they wanted, especially Hall and Nash, like you said, they wanted to try to bring him in, but he had a thing, and some other deeper historian could probably correct me if I'm wrong, where he was the athletic commissions wouldn't allow him to wrestle because his weight got so high and out of control, so they
Yeah.
couldn't bring him in.
Next is from Jason Turpin, subject his father-son matches. Hey guys, I guess my question last week about drag laws was too fire for the mailbag. Disco never read it.
That's
Um,
true.
what what happened now?
That's true. Yeah, he sent in an email about drag laws, and you skipped it. I thought you
I,
just
I
skipped it.
skipped it.
Yeah,
Oh really?
yeah.
I thought I read everything. It's kind of weird. Okay,
Yeah.
so my question this week will be less controversial. Juventud Guerrero recently started his own podcast on his YouTube channel, LA Arena. The
Mm.
production reminds you of that old school Japanese game show that used to come on Spike TV. Anyways, Huvie was talking about Ray and Dom's match at WrestleMania, and Huvie compared the match to the first time he wrestled his father, Fuerza Guerrera. Conan, with all the other father-son wrestlers in Lucha Libre, are there any memorable father-son matches that you can cite? Thanks, and that's from Jason Turpin.
Oh, father against the son?
Yeah,
No,
no.
no.
Well, how about the one with Huvie against Fuerza?
Yeah, that
Did,
was there was good heat there. Yeah, there
right.
was good heat.
Next is from Lars Kunitz, and the subject is bidding war. Apparently, in recent interviews, Tony Khan's been dropping hints that he is signed or is having talks with Goldberg. With this news, do you think that Vince McMahon will panic and try to re-sign him? I'm a Goldberg fan, but I really don't think the WWE need him. Thing is, Tony Khan has the money. He just signed Brian Cage a 6-year deal for sake. Do you think it's possible that Bill Goldberg is about to break records with the highest contract in wrestling history? Um, I don't know. I mean, if they sign him, I'm sure he's going to get a pretty penny, but for a limited amount of dates. I mean, I don't even really know what to say here.
Neither do I. I mean, wherever he goes, he's going to get paid.
Right.
Um, but I don't. How much time does he really have left?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, with the star power and the name, he could bring something to the table, but how much would be my question. Like, I don't
Right.
think that I said it before. That crowd, Goldberg's not their bag, really. Kenny Omega's their bag.
Well, they
Okada's
chant
their
Ward.
bag.
They do the Goldberg chant for Wardlow already.
But he's
You
from
know.
AEW. He's like
Right.
a part of he grew up there or whatever. He's a
Next.
homegrown talent,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Next is from Garth F. Killing Machine. Subject is Roderick Strong, the Game Changer. Hey guys, I know that you guys are always being asked about whoever Tony Khan signed that week, but because he signs a new wrestler every week. But I'd love to know what K100 thinks are the genuine future career possibilities for Strong in AEW. I think he's a really good wrestler, but he's the blandest of the blandest. So glad Billy is gone. The show is better without him. Um, the Strong is going to be Adam Cole's tag team partner. I mean, it sounds like they're kind of getting some of those like the Kyle O'Reilly's hurt. They didn't re-sign Bobby Fish, right?
No, he was at Impact. I'm not sure if he still is.
Right. So I don't know. He'll be a tag team with Cole. I don't know what his deal is. Is he a full-time side? Who knows? You know.
I think they put out that graphic. He's all elite or whatever now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Have you ever
kinda.
worked with Roderick Strong, Conan?
Yeah, an Impact.
Yeah,
Bro,
like
he's
not
got
in
a hell of an
Mexico, yeah.
arm. He used to be a quarterback in high school, I think in Delaware, he told me.
Yes.
He has one hell of an arm.
Mhm.
And a hell of an athlete and a nice guy, you know, just the same thing I've been saying for over a year. What are you going to do with him, bro? They're super oversaturated with talent.
If somebody listening to the mailbag can send in or answer this, I always heard the knock on him was that he's not good on the mic. He can't talk, but I haven't seen that much of him since he left Ring of Honor, so I don't know.
All right. Next one's from Easton Axwin. The subject is K100 intro. What's up, guys? And what's the new K100? For anyone who skipped it, it contains two infamous clips from WWE Tough Enough. One was Stone Cold Steve Austin being stunned, shocked, when Cameron said that her number one match in wrestling history was Melina versus Alicia Fox. My question is, so what? Why can't that be her favorite match? People talk about Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels being the greatest match of all time. Not in my opinion. To me, it's as boring as Billy Body talking about how he's cool. Enough with the wrestling snobbery. If someone likes a match, let them like it.
Well, here's the
This
point.
does not have a question. Wait, my question is, oh, so what? It's like, all right, I agree too. Who cares?
The point of that was, I think she went into Tough Enough with, she was not a wrestling fan. She had no experience and no knowledge of the history. She mentioned Alicia Fox because it was like her cousin or something. Right. They set her up to do that. Yes, just so Austin could make fun of her, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Wayne Grolfine, Triple H taking shots at Reigns. When Triple H was revealing the new WWE title on Raw, he took a few obviously kayfabe shots at Reigns during the segment. What I'd like to know from K100 is, what do you think this is leading to? Triple H has said in interviews that he has heart problems, that he'll never wrestle again, but he'll not be risk taking a bump again. So a Triple H versus Reigns match currently isn't in the works, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think is happening? Billy running back to Russo is a bad look. It's already causing behind the scenes problems for those guys. What am I going to say here? Triple H. I don't know. Triple H is like that though. He's always been like, just ribbing on the square with guys. Yeah. Like Edge's on TV one time and he goes, "Hey, you never drew a dime, kid." Something like that. He just does that. That's the same. I don't read anything else into that other than that.
But Masters, when he came back from a drug suspension and he lost some weight, and they were about how his arms got small and said his neck was like a stack of dimes. Right. Yeah, he'll do that on TV all the time, or used to.
Yeah. So next is Jared Adiot. The subject is woman not being ready for prime time. Hi, K100 fam. Hope all is well. I watched my first AEW's women's match in about 8 months, and Tynara Mello was in it. Even for AEW's low standards, her performance was pretty shocking. She would not register any moves being done to her, and she looked lost out there. Even non-fans noticed how whack she was out there. I remember her being in NXT in 2017, and she seems to wrestle the exact same way as she did back then. My question to the crew is, why does AEW or any company for that matter present women like Paola Blaze or Tay Mello who are clearly not ready to be on TV? Does it purely come down to sex appeal despite some ladies looking ridiculous at their job? And does the crew think that things need to be more strict in terms of who are actually allowed to be on TV? Thank you very much. They just need better agents. Or the agents need to, bro, like a girl, an attractive girl like that, she doesn't need to be doing complicated spots. Like when you're hot, just learn to like the way Jay George wrestled Taya. That watch along the rematch. There's a lot of simplicity. If you keep it simple and keep the moves simple and everything, you're not going to expose yourself and look bad. I think a lot of these girls just try to do way too much stuff on TV. Would you agree with that, Conan?
Yep. Then they want to show they can hang with the guys, but for the most part, their athleticism isn't on the same par as the guys, and that's just that's a fact,
Right.
Now, as far as Teo Mello, I think there's way worse girls than her there. I do think she should be in Rampage getting reps, but she's pretty close to being ready. I mean, every time I've seen her there, she brings it, and she's very physical.
Next is from Ron Soron. The subject is worst wrestling shirts ever. Hey K100, I'm sure now you've seen Britt Baker's hideous shirts, with her face either covered in blood like Carrie White, or she's sporting a black eye and blue shiner on her eye, looking like a victim of domestic violence. These shirts are straight up caca, and I would hate to meet the idiot who would have had the guts or stupidity to wear that in public. My question is, what are some of the worst wrestling shirts you've ever seen? The question's for all three of you. Thanks, Ron. Addicted to the Blade shirt is the worst one I've ever seen.
I knew something was coming.
All
Yeah.
right, for sure. I don't know. I don't know what the
Here's the
wrestling.
Brit shirt if you didn't see it. It's just a
Yeah, it
picture
looks
of her with a
absurd.
shiner. Yeah.
I mean, that's not really, I don't know what.
Well, people are saying it makes people think of domestic violence. I thought
Who's going to wear that?
No one's going to wear it, first off. But yes, I mean, if I saw someone wearing that and it was at a wrestling show, I'd be like, oh, it's Brit took a shot in a match and they're making her try to look tough. That's all.
I don't. That's kind of weird.
The worst wrestling shirt I ever saw was the Acolytes had a shirt and it went APA, always pounding ass. Who would wear that?
Not me.
There you go.
Cody, do you see any bad shirts?
Every single shirt on Joe Feeney's t-shirt store.
Crazy Eddie. WrestlingTees.com.
They're all tied. They're all tied for the worst.
They're all tied, starting with the cat.
Right.
The Dexter shirt.